Welcome to Art for All Ages Online. Today we have a wonderful painting for you. It's called Purple Sky with the Green Hills. It's a wonderful painting. It's super easy, and the best part of all, guess what? It's all done with nothing more than the sponge. The sponge will do 100% of today's painting. It is super simple, and we're going to walk you through it as always, one step at a time. Let's take a look. This is today's painting. It is, as we said, the purple sky with the green hills. It will be done exclusively with our secret weapon, the sponge. And as always, we will walk you through it today, one simple step at a time. There is one section of the painting that will require a tiniest fraction of a little bit of a brush work, but it's super simple, and we'll show you how to do it when we get there. Let's get started. Our setup today is the same as always. We have the basic watercolor paper with the yellow tape wrapped around the border to give us a nice crisp white border when we're at the end of the painting class. We're going to start today's class by using the brush to simply mix up the paint, clean out the brush. Mix up the paint, clean out the brush. There's only one time, maybe two times this brush will touch your painting. It's super simple. We're going to show you how to do it. We're going to start off with a basic purple color. And we're going to mix with that color a new color called emerald green. Emerald green. We're going to talk about harmony in color and palette, and it will help you in the future with your paintings in choosing colors for your paintings. What we're talking about here and now is a harmony in the colors that are found throughout our paintings. Not just for today's painting, but for all of our paintings. You will notice that in our classes, we might mix up a color, but there's already a color there on the palette, and we're mixing that in with it. There's a reason for that. It's called color harmony. It means that some of the other color that's somewhere else in the painting is mixed in with another color that we're going to use elsewhere, so that there's a symbiotic relationship between these colors. This painting has that symbiotic relationship, and you will see that sometimes we're going to use purple with a little bit of the green, and then other times we're going to use a lot of the green and a little bit of the purple. And by mixing those two in those ratios, we get a nice harmony of colors. Now, one of the other things that we want to share with you about today's painting, and we'll show you on the painting today, is that the sky is not directly horizontal. It actually is on an angle. And you can see this angular attack that we have utilized with the sponge to create this sky. If you choose to do it perfectly horizontal, that is your prerogative. You may do that. But if you want more dynamic drama in your painting, try to do it on an angle. Now, I'm left-handed, so I use this angle. If you want to go in that angle, that's fine. Here's what we're talking about. We'll take the sponge and put that purple color onto it. We'll start right in the corner here, and we will drag our sponge diagonally across the page. And we'll keep that same diagonal feel. Once that's done, we'll wet the tip, squeeze it out, and then we'll soften that up a little bit. We're going to put some other colors in the sky, but that's enough to get us started for today's painting. We'll clean out the sponge, and we'll clean out our brush, and we'll move on to the next part of the painting. As we said, color harmony. So we started with a lot of purple and a little bit of green. And now we're going to switch those. We're going to use a lot of green and a little bit of the purple. So here's how we do that. We're going to take the same emerald green that we used before. We're going to mix that up. And this time we're going to touch just a little bit of the purple into that. We still want the color to be mostly green, but a little touch of the purple gives it a little grayed down feeling. That's what we're looking for. And again, we'll create what we call that color harmony. At this time in the painting,
It is one of the 2 times that we will be using a little tiny bit of brushwork. This is not difficult. It is super simple. Do not be afraid of the brush. It is your friend. It will be very easy to do this. In fact, it is a combination of these 2 together that is going to allow us to do what we're doing. So we're going to start off with the brush, and then we're going to go to the sponge. Let me show you how this works.
We're going to look at the painting, and we're going to try to create with the brush, with the green, this basic curvy line for the hillscape in the background. We'll go ahead and utilize the brush, roll the brush into the paint, and then we'll start on this side of the painting off the page onto the yellow tape coming into the painting. And we're going to try to create that same basic wave shape that we saw in the other painting. If you don't like what you did, you can come back and you can change it, move it up around, but basically we want to get this nice hard-edged line on the painting. Once that's done, we're going to wet the sponge's tip, squeeze it out, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to just soften that up. Look at that, and just blend it down until we have practically nothing. Look at that, that's looking good. Now we have that nice hard edge that we were looking for and a soft hill shape coming down. We're now going to take, while this is still semi-wet, some of our yellow color. You don't want it really strong, but a little hint of this yellow is going to be nice for this part of the painting. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the sponge again, and we're going to come and we're just going to add a little hint of that yellow into that mountain. Wet the tip, squeeze it out, and soften that up. That's what we're looking for, just a little hint of some yellow there.
What we're going to do is we're going to talk about this second hill that is created in today's painting, and we're going to show you the painting more closely so you can see what we're talking about.
Right now, this hillside is still wet. If you look and see, this particular line in the hill is not a sharp edge. It was created while the painting of the first hill was still wet. That's what caused it to bleed. If you like this effect in your painting, then you want to be able to bring that second hill into your painting now. If you do not, do the next part in the sky, which we'll talk about shortly, and then come back and create that second hill the same way that you did the first one, and you'll have a clean edged line. We're going to go ahead and we're going to utilize that same green, the emerald green, with a little touch of the purple, and we're going to use it to create our second hill in the same way that we created the first one. We're going to utilize the brush. We want to make sure though that we do not have a mirrored image of this next hill. We want to have this hill in a different shape than the first one. It doesn't matter what size shape or how you shape your hill. It is your painting. You can shape it however you want. Once you have that second hill, put down the brush, pick up the sponge, and pull underneath that second hill to create the softness that brings it down. And you can see we have 2 different shapes for our hills.
What we're going to do now is we're going to bring a little bit more drama into the sky. We're going to add a couple of other colors. You can also do this before you put the hillside in, but you can do it afterwards as long as you're careful. We'll show you what we're talking about.
What we're going to do now is we're going to mix up a little bit of the Payne's gray color. That's that nice dark bluish gray color. We're going to add a little bit of the purple into the painting color. We want it nice and bold. Now because this sky is up at the top and we already have the hills in, we're going to turn the painting around. This will make it easier for us to be able to reach the section of the sky we're trying to reach. We're going to utilize the sponge, put that dark color on the sponge. We're going to continue to try to get that angular motion instead of going horizontal, and we're going to come to the top part of the painting and we're going to allow us to just softly put in some of that darker color. We'll wet the sponge's tip and then we'll come back and soften that up just softly, lightly like that. There we go. And you can see we were very careful. We didn't touch the other mountains that were there. We're going to do the exact same thing this time with a new color, which is a little bit brighter. We're going to use a little bit of the magenta. Same thing, we're going to make sure that we don't touch the hills, but we're just going to come in and add a little hint of that pinky magenta color into the sky. Same thing, we're going to wet the tip, squeeze it out, and soften that up. And there we go, nice and easy.
The next part of this painting is simply to create the tree line at the bottom half of the painting. We're going to show you how to do that. It's a very simple motion. It's what we call the lift. It's a finesse move. It's a variation on the number one motion, and we've talked about it in some of our other paintings. But as a reminder, the lift is not to pull and go straight up. The lift is a slow lift off the page. Think of it like a plane taking off of the runway and slowly lifting off of the tarmac. We'll show you how it's done.
Okay, so what we want to do now is we're going to create the tree line here at the bottom of the painting. We're going to utilize the Payne's gray color. We'll put it right on top of the palette where we put in our purple color. And this time we're also going to use some of the emerald green. You can see how there's a harmony of colors that have been mixed into this particular painting. We want this color very, very dark, and we're going to utilize that first motion to pull the sponge, but we're going to use the lift. The sponge will be directly on the paint tape right here on the yellow tape, and then from there we will pull and lift towards us to get that tree line into the painting. So here we go. You will notice we did not have a tree line that went straight across the bottom, but our tree line has variations that go up and down. There's thick areas, there's thin little areas, there's some variety there. It's not just the same even stroke all the way across. We want some variety in our painting. We're going to do the same thing again, but this time a little bit less of the green and a little bit more of the Payne's gray, so that we get a nice rich dark color right on the edge of where the painting is. And so this time we are right here at the bottom, and I'm going to turn the sponge sideways so I can get a smaller little finer bead on the painting. Again, utilizing that lift motion so it tapers off and away from the painting. There we go. And some of these can be a little higher, a little lower. Again, variety is the spice of life. What you'll also notice is there is a great deal of paint here on the tape. That's fine, that's what it's there for. When we remove the tape, we'll have that nice crisp line that allows us to see the beautiful border that is created for the painting. I'll turn my painting back right side up now.
Every painting that's part of our program can be what we call embellished. You can add, you can subtract, you can change color, you can do all kinds of things because it's your painting. And as it is your painting, if you want to change things, you are perfectly free to do so. And in this particular case, we're going to add a few extra things to the painting. We're going to add birds to start with.
Now the birds that we want to add, we're going to use the Payne's gray, and we're going to use the small brush. If it turns out that you have not watched our free video on how to use a brush to make paintings with birds and trees, we highly recommend that you check that video out. It will teach you how to do what I'm about to show you.
The birds are nice, but they're a little lonely. If you want, you can also create a tree, just a lonely tree on the other side of the painting that might also add some extra interest to this particular painting. Let me show you how this is done.
So now we're going to take the painting again, and we're going to turn it upside down. Reason, because we're going to be painting a tree. Again, if you have not watched our video on how to paint trees, you want to watch that so that you can see how this is done. I'm going to start today's tree here in the yellow tape and work my way up into the painting. That way, when the yellow tape is removed, we will have a nice clean edged line on the tree at the bottom of the painting. Our favorite shape to make trees is, of course, the letter Y. This particular Y is more of a stretched out, elongated shape. There's nothing wrong with that. It still follows the basic pattern to use the Y shape for our tree. You'll also notice that how easy this is created by pulling the brush rather than using my wrist in an awkward angle to pull up the brush that way. Having the painting upside down makes this super simple so that I can just pull the brush and create the tree's branches as wistfully as I want. Avoiding, of course, what we call the devil's pitchfork. We don't want to have that. And of course, all trees, thicker at the bottom, smaller at the top. As long as you follow this basic rule, your tree will look natural. Now, one of the things I've done in today's painting for this tree is you'll notice that these two branches line up with the hillside. This is not a great idea. It causes a conflict for the viewer to see what's really going on. And because of that, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and use the brush again to just make those branches to go past the hill line so that the viewer does not have that kind of a conflict.
Now we'll take the tape off and see what it really looks like.
And now you can see the finished painting with the tape removed, the beautiful white line of the border that goes wrapping around the painting, and we have a lovely painting here with some variation. It's nice sometimes to have some variety. Either case, the original painting in its simplified form or in the more complicated form with the added tree and birds, both work well to create a dynamic, interesting painting that you can be proud of to show you and your family.
We hope you have enjoyed today's painting, and thank you for joining us. We hope that you also check out the rest of our videos online and enjoy them as well. Thank you.
Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed this video, check out our full library for more videos with our sponge painting system at artforallagesonline.com. Or if you're interested in live art classes for you or your community, check us out at artforallages.com. We wish you well in all your artistic endeavors. Thank you.